Welcome back to the Kosi Arsenal channel. My name is Kosi. Welcome back to a brand new video. Arsenal have eliminated Real Madrid 1-5 on aggregate, and we have beaten them at the Santiago Bernabeu. Absolutely interesting stuff, absolutely hilarious stuff when it comes to Arsenal. Real Madrid, for me, I'm disappointed, really disappointed, but I'm more appeased with this Arsenal side. I am more happier with Mikel Arteta. I'm happier with the Arsenal side and the performance that we have put in at the Santiago Bernabeu. I was absolutely scared. I was absolutely nervous. And if you remember, I did even give a prediction for this game. I was so unsure. I was very, very nervous. I think that's the word. But I am absolutely appeased. I am so happy. Arsenal into the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League, the edition 2024-2025, and we shall take on PSG. A kind of different test in its own, but a test that really resembles Real Madrid. And of course, we'll talk about the PSG game later on. We shall do our own semi-final preview. But let's talk about this Arsenal Madrid tie, because Arsenal have exhibited two elements that I think have been so important and so crucial across both legs. That is energy, and discipline. Those two elements, for me, are the reason as to why one team has gone parking at home and the other team has advanced to the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. And I also think that against PSG, if we can see energy and discipline, I think PSG is a lightweight, it's light work for Arsenal. If you've beaten Madrid, PSG should be light work emotionally, psychologically, and also the amount of hard work that we've actually put in at the Santiago Bernabeu, at the Emirates as well, against Real Madrid. The performance in itself is mind-blowing. It is absolutely mind-blowing because we all knew that Madrid were coming into this game to throw everything they got at us. They were coming in this game to find a way. And again, I think this is bizarre, but Arsenal have really improved as a team under Mikel Arteta. We have really improved. And one sign that shows that we have really improved, look at all the big games that we played this season. Liverpool, City, Chelsea, Tottenham, United, PSG, Inter Milan, Real Madrid. We've played about 16 games, right? About 16 big games this campaign. And how many games have we lost? Again, how many games have we lost? I think it's 1 or 2, right? 1 or 2 were beaten by Inter Milan, 1-0, a penalty by Lautaro Martinez or Hakan Çalhanoğlu. I think it was Hakan Çalhanoğlu. And then I think that's it. We've not been beaten by these big teams, these giants of teams. And that's what's actually very interesting about this Arsenal side as we get to the semi-finals. So, as we came into the quarterfinal, the second leg, you thought Madrid were going to come out and have the upper hand, the advantage in this game. And I think we all kind of thought that Arsenal would be suffocated because Madrid were going to come to find a solution. We were going to ask questions and they needed answers desperately. But in the end, what we actually saw was an Arsenal side that even had the opportunity to kill the game off. We got an early penalty. Is it a soft penalty? Yeah, it's a soft penalty. At this level, I think Mikel Merino is nowhere near the ball. I don't think he's affecting the game. Yes, he's brought down and the penalty is given. But for me, yeah, it's kind of soft. It's almost the same as the Declan Rice one on Kylian Mbappe. If you don't give this one, don't give the other. If you give this one, give the other, right? But I think with Mbappe, he was looking for it, right? I think that's the difference. The referee just looks at Mikel Merino and he has gone down genuinely. Yes, he's far away from the action and the goalkeeper is going to catch it safely, but he's far away from the action, but he is falling very genuinely. As to Kylian Mbappe, I don't know what he's doing. I think he's trying to psychologically impact the game, get a penalty, and get this crowd maybe roaring, something like that. I don't know, but it didn't work. So when it comes to Arsenal, the one thing we've got to say, Arsenal have really improved, and that has been shown across the 4 games that we played in the knockouts of the Champions League. PSV, home and away, and Real Madrid home and away. These are very different games, very different profiles, very different teams, and very different approaches. And that shows you that Arsenal is like an an all-round team. Ceballos was saying that he's got tactics about Mikel Arteta, and maybe they were gonna use that. And I was like, what are you even saying? Mikel Arteta is a manager that thumped PSV 7-0, lost to West Ham 2-0, and thumped Madrid 3-0. How do you learn such a manager? And I think overall, Arsenal have really improved. That's the truth. We have really improved as a team. Defensively, I think we have developed this identity of you just can't score against Arsenal. And I think we came into this game and everybody was saying teams have not scored 3 goals against Arsenal in a long time. Why do Madrid think they were going to be the first? Of course, we're going to talk about how bad, right, Madrid were across both legs, but we need to talk about first how good Arsenal been. So I think we've improved as a team, but the energy and discipline showcased by Arsenal across both legs, it's mind-blowing. It's like, I do not know whether you have noticed, guys. I don't know whether you have seen, right, the way Saliba was running, the way Rice was running, the way Odegaard was running, the way all the players on the pitch, even Mick Marino, was running. Like, everyone was full of energy. Gabriel Martinelli for the second goal. That's what I'm talking about. Energy until 90 minutes, until 90 plus 5 minutes. Energy. And Madrid just couldn't cope up. So let's talk about the 3 goals in this game. The penalty, I don't know why Saka's gone for a penalty there, but I think it signifies for me how confident Arsenal were coming into this game. Like, Mikel Arteta was asked about this Madrid team and what people are saying, and he said, listen, let's talk on the pitch. That's what matters. Let's go and talk on the pitch. And when Mikel said that, this kind of fear just washed off me. And I looked at this Madrid side and I looked at what they've been doing this season. I'm like, they're not scoring 3 against Arsenal, are they? And even if they are scoring 3, they're not going with a clean sheet. This Madrid side is finished, it's done. And remember my video, the first preview of the second leg, I said Madrid are finished, and people say, listen, Kosi, give them the respect. I did give them the respect in that video, but I believed so that they were finished. So I think Saka going for Penanka there, it showed you, I don't think he wanted to miss it, but it showed you that Arsenal weren't under immense pressure. And I think we started off kind of poorly, right? Our positions were not really as organized as it was in the second half. So much better in the second half we were. But, I mean, for him to go for a Penanka there and misses it and nothing happens and it doesn't even impact the game, I was so surprised. The game plan for Mikel was absolutely spot on. Go there, play your game, but make sure you pay attention to the key points. Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Bellingham, the long balls, right? The box presence. Pay attention to that. And after doing that, go and play your game. So Saka was a very good example of Arsenal playing their game. He comes, takes a penanka. Against Thibaut Courtois, for me, you don't do that. He's a top-class goalkeeper, honestly. One of the best in the world, even the best in the world, in my opinion. But for Saka to do that, and then the game is not affected, Madrid knew, right? I think that was the moment that Madrid knew it's over. Because usually, if you miss a pen, your heads are going to drop. And that's where Madrid, pick up and they start, maybe scoring one and maybe getting another before half time, and maybe things happen quickly in quick succession. But Saka misses a pen, and this Arsenal team is pressing as ever, is running as ever, and we are daring as we could dare. And we're like, what is going on? Have we been raided by bandits, right? I think there were bandits at the Bernabeu. The first Saka goal is an element of absolute pure magic. And that is what the combination of a good midfield can actually do for you. That's why I'm crying out for a creative midfielder. You've seen it, didn't you? Saka gets the ball wide. He's 1v1 against Rudiger. I think Madrid were wise. Alaba tried to injure Saka. I mean, that was deliberate. That was deliberate. They've done it with Mo Salah. Remember, they've done it with Mohamed Salah, Madrid. They will come and take out your best player. They will come and do it. So they come into this game. Alaba's tried to take out Saka. It didn't work. Saka is such a machine. You just don't take him out of a game like that. Alaba gets that yellow card, and that means he's susceptible to get a red card. So Rudiger pulls into the wide area, and he's 1v1 against Saka. And what Arsenal have done there is simple. They've exploited the space left in behind by Rudiger, because still Alaba is covering for Rudiger, but Alaba's got a yellow card. So Saka just plays it back into midfield. It's Martin Odegaard, gets a touch, into Declan Rice, gets a touch, into Odegaard again, and then Odegaard has seen Mikel Merino in acres of space. I've got to say, that is how bad Madrid were. Again, Mikel Merino and Martin Odegaard in acres of space. Absolute acres of space. They look like a team that didn't know what they were doing. And Mikel Merino, he's a midfielder, we know. He's an attacking midfielder as well in his profile. He's got that gene in his blood and DNA. He sees that run from Bukayo Saka. And the finish is absolutely like to do that at that stage. And then he goes, yeah, I think mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. The Saliba mistake, I think these moments happen in games, right? And I'm not going to say, because Saliba had a very good game. He had a top performances. He had a top performance. He had 17 defensive actions in that game, and I think 13 clearances or something like that. He had a top game. And for him to play alongside Kivio, and for them to stop Mbappe, Vinicius, and Rodrigo, and the likes of Jude Bellingham, I've got nothing against that backline. So I think there is a lapse of concentration there from Raya and Saliba. They don't just pay enough attention, close attention to Vinicius and Mbappe. And I think that was the plan for Real Madrid throughout the game. They wanted to suffocate Arsenal in our own half, create these mini counterattacks, because they've got players that can do that. Create these mini counterattacks and have a high quality press. But Arsenal are such a machine as well that we can easily play through many of the presses that we have faced this season. Actually, for me, the only team that Arsenal have not played before, actually two teams that we've not played, or one we've played actually, is Inter Milan and Atalanta. Those are the two teams that I think their press could be devastating for us. Inter are such a savvy team. But when it comes to Atalanta, I am afraid of Gasperini's press. They are relentless. They are absolutely... I don't know if they're still good as they were when they were winning the Europa League, but they were absolutely relentless. So Saliba makes a mistake. It's a goal. And Arsenal like, okay. And this is what I loved about this game. This is what I loved about this Arsenal side this game. Like, we didn't care. Madrid were caring so much. They were, getting their fans to rise up and do this all kind of stuff. And Arsenal were like, okay, let's see what you guys are going to do. And then, I think this was motivation versus discipline. Madrid were really motivated for the game. You could see even Thibaut Courtois saving that penalty. There was a lot of reactions. Vinicius Jr. getting the equalizer. There was a lot of reaction. And Arsenal scoring and, maybe conceding. We're like, okay, let's see what you guys are going to do. And when the motivation kind of, the dopamine, is it dopamine? No, it's not dopamine. It's adrenaline, right? When the adrenaline, wears off from Real Madrid after those little moments, they're like, how are we going to break down this Arsenal side? Good God, how are we going to work this? And that's what happened. Madrid were really motivated in this game, and Arsenal were really disciplined. The Martinelli goal is an embarrassment for Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu, but it also shows that they were trying to go and get anything out of the game at that moment. They couldn't sit back. They had to press Arsenal in their own half and try and get something. So I don't blame Madrid for being beaten, because that goal is a symbol of what Arsenal are. They are such a very difficult team to play against when you are a big team. Against smaller teams, maybe if we play Aston Villa, they'll beat us, right? But against Madrid, Defensively, we are compact, and in terms of the attack, we are not as bad as Kosi says we are. No, we have some good elements in our attack, and we saw those good elements yesterday. And Martinelli, for him to run like that, for Christ's sake, for him to run like that, the finish is sublime, right? The finish is sublime. So for me, guys, I have nothing against this Arsenal team. For us to be in the semi-finals signifies improvement. And there is a video coming about Mikel Arteta, and we shall explain more about improvement, right? Why Arsenal have improved despite the fact that we have had such a devastating season. We have had such a bad season. We have massively improved as a side. You can look at us now and say, they have got some balls. They have got a chance in the UEFA Champions League. Inter, Barcelona, Arsenal, and PSG into the semi-finals. We'll do a preview on who I think is gonna go through. We'll do a preview as well on who I want to go through. Same preview, obviously. We'll talk about the semi-finals. But Jesus Christ, Arsenal in the semi-finals, and I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, really. I really don't know what to say.